Welcome to your typical shonen protagonist. He's Kai. I'm Kells, and this is a show where we explore and I can't believe we're making this joke 3 episodes in a row. Duel our way through different anime series. In this episode, we continue our look at Yu-Gi-Oh! The first season, Duelist Kingdom. Last episode, we ended with Kaiba beating Yugi and making him feel bad about wanting to murder Kaiba for his grandpa, because, real G's have feelings.
Yeah, like, I'm all down for. I condone Kaiba and I condone, spirit homicidal Yugi.
Yeah, right? You got to do it for your fam, right? And then we covered the fact that, Mei is a friend and wound up making Yugi take her star chips, even it was losing a duel, and that showed Yugi the power of friendship, because the whole point of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is friendship is vital. So from here, we get into what happens if you don't have friends in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Universe.
You get merc'd and put inside a card.
You get so merc'd, your soul gets stolen. So this is the first duel that happens inside of the Pegesus castle. Seto Kaiba storms the gates. He's like, I've got all of the star chips you wanted. Now give me my brother. And Pegesus is like, all right, we'll duel for him. To which Maximilian Pegesus is an absolute cheater, and if you play your card games honorably, you're a sucker. His Millennium Eye reveals to him the opponent's hand or their inner thoughts.
Which are
what
both
is that mess?
Broken.
Yes. So it's sort of revealed that he's cheating, but not how. Right. Kaiba can't comprehend that he's getting murked so bad. And this almost the same way he got murked by Yu-Gi-Oh! In the first episode.
Yeah.
Right. His arrogance blinds him from being able to see why exactly he's getting taken for a fool.
And it's kind of... You think that this fight with Yugi was humbling, but I guess this is another level, since he gets one of his favorite cards turned into a cartoon and then gets wrecked with it.
Bruh.
So...
What? How disrespectful was that?
So Pegasus took Kaiba's favorite treasured card that he out here almost killing people for, and
Blue Eyes
White Dragon. And he basically has this card called Toon World, which turns any card into...
Toon World.
Yes, which for some reason makes them all a lot more powerful.
Let's get into the fact that Kaiba is not Kaiba. Pegasus is the creator of Duel Monsters, the card game.
Yes,
not like the idea.
My mind.
So he just has cards that's never been in print, not available to anybody else, like Toon World.
And it's just mad broken, because when you create cards in the game, who's going to beat you? Who's going to tell you that, hey, you can't do this, you can't make that card? No one.
When not only can you see other people's hand, but you know every card that's ever been produced. I would say, fair play, he has a slight advantage.
So, yeah, basically, he uses all this, his money, wealth, fame, to find the Grand Line and get One Piece. And anyway,
oh no! Don't invoke One Piece. We'll be here for literally ever.
He uses his Millennium Eye to basically wreck Kaiba, stealing his pride, stealing his soul, and stealing his chance at saving his family and saving his company.
So he does the same thing he does to Grandpa and Mokuba. He takes their soul out of their body, puts it in a card, and then just puts the body somewhere else. For Mokuba and Kaiba, it's in the dungeon. To which, why do you have a dungeon, Kaiba? Or Pegasus?
I'm sorry that I got you started on that. Like,
Yeah,
but
yeah, it just won't stop, man. But Pegasus has a dungeon.
because why
Honestly,
not?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, why not, man? You're an evil villain. Like, either you get a dungeon or you get got, and he ain't getting got. So,
Yeah, you
he,
gotta have a place to put somebody, right?
yeah. So,
Yeah,
Kaiba loses that fight, and it's just like the whole morale is just kind of the whole tone shifts because you're like, oh my god, big baddie Maximilian Pegasus, like, can he be beat? Because he just took out Kaiba, like jokingly, and
yeah, disrespectfully.
yeah,
But now we start the actual tournament, like the actual quarterfinals, semifinals, and then the actual final duel of the game. So this would be the quarterfinals. We have Yugi versus My Valentine
yes,
in a quote unquote honorable duel.
and let it be known, appreciate this Mai, because if you continue the series, you will get the worst voice change in anime
Oh,
history.
oh no.
Just know.
When does that happen?
I think it happens. I think it's season 4, season 3 or season 4
Okay,
where her
okay.
voice
You had
changes.
me worried that the important season. I say important, like Duelist King, or excuse me, Battle City is the pinnacle of Yu-Gi-Oh.
It
But
is Battle City Best Art. Like,
okay, good to know I'm not alone on that.
yeah.
But
So
yeah,
they enter a battle, and you know what? Some people change, some people grow and develop new strategies, and just do what they can to be the best they can be. Not
and
my
some
Valentine.
people. Oh, I was gonna go with Yugi, but yes, not My Valentine.
Not Yugi either. Some people just cheat. So she sticks to her same strategy of let me summon this harpy and just equip it and more harpies.
And Harpy Pet Dragon, and a strategy that works. Don't change up the formula if you know it's gonna pay the bills, right?
Except this time it doesn't.
Well, except this time she has feelings, and she's like taking one turn of I'm going to give you a chance to come to your senses, Yugi, even though I shouldn't. Even though I should mark you here and now, I'm going to continue to be that friend you've shown me and help you come out of your rut of, all right, I'm back in this duel, but I'm not going to trust this murderous spirit of this ancient puzzle that I've, allowed to win all of my duels up until now.
Yeah.
And that's the story of this duel is Yugi comes to grips with the fact that the spirit of the puzzle is a part of him. And My Valentine just happens to be the victim of that realization. And
Which
somehow she's okay with that.
which just makes me sad because Mai gets shafted. She really does. Like, I feel like she's the
Yes.
Sakura of Yu-Gi-Oh. She doesn't have a super magical power. She's not
No,
a
I would argue differently, but continue, please.
like she doesn't have a super magical power. She okay, Joey is the Sakura of this series.
Oh no. Oh
But
no.
like she doesn't have all these fancy like things everybody else has. She doesn't even really have people in her corner. But like she's always out here making the top 4 or top 5. Like I got a lot of respect for my Valentine.
No, me too. And that's probably my biggest hang up with comparing her to Sakura is I have respect for My Valentine.
Oh no.
Because what she does what she does previously, or previously and coming up, even though she takes the L to Yugi and she helps him realize that, there's more to being a person than just not murdering people. Wait a minute. But like she's a character and she fits in the story arc with Joey, right? Joey's this coming to grips and learning and winning and I would say an allegory for the viewer, right?
Yeah.
Of learning the game and winning and losing and like progression. Yugi is the primary character that we want to win because he's the main character. And My Valentine is an example of what it is to have an opinion, take an L, and be able to change that opinion through a lot of effort, right? Because back in the day, she faced Joey and lost. And then she tried to sucker Rex Raptor into fighting for her. Rex Raptor lost to Joey.
Yeah.
And then she slowly recognized those things and changed her opinion, which is big. Like the legitimate character arcs of these characters, even though there's a bunch of BS with 4Kids, censorship.
Yeah.
The reason that this is still like Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters has maintained as like a legit series is because of them treat like the show, the author, even though it breathes through in translation. These are real characters with real people, with real opinions and real personalities, real change. And that shows true,
Yeah, everybody has a goal that they're fighting for, and it's really cool to see them actually fight for it and try to obtain it.
Yes, even if they take the L, they're still like, I've gained something. Even if it's just knowledge.
Even if it's an L.
Yes. Even if they take the L, there's growth, and they appreciate the gain of that.
Unless you're Weevil. Weevil is trash.
Yes, Weevil is trash, and he should get ruined for throwing Exodia off the frickin' boat.
I would have just stole it. I don't know why he threw it. I was just like, yo, dope.
So Joey would have had to merc Weevil instead of merking the ocean, which you just simply can't do.
True.
But moving on to the next match, it's Bandit Keith versus Joey Wheeler.
Which is a fun one because I feel like this is good versus evil. Like Bandit Keith, literally his name is Bandit Keith. I feel like he's the embodiment of everything wrong that we don't want. And Joey is kind of like the pure, lovable, like, I'm going to work my way to get there type person.
Yeah. The story of this match is Bandit Keith snuck into Joey's room in the middle of the night because Bandit Keith is not supposed to be at this tournament as much as Joey's supposed to be at this tournament, which is not at all, right? He snuck his way on the island to confront Pegesus. So he sneaks into Joey's room and steals his, like, permit card that Yugi gave him.
Yeah.
So there's only one official championship card in the match, and that's Bandit Keith's now. Joey spends like 5 minutes running around the castle trying to find his card, in which we run into May Valentine giving Joey her extra card that suddenly she doesn't need anymore because she took the big L.
Yeah.
But still, the fact that she was there to give it to him, showed commitment not only to Yugi as a friend, but also Joey as a friend. So that's the majority of an entire episode of Joey running around the castle and trying to find that.
Yeah,
And
I got
then we
mad
get
love
to
for Joey.
Yes, and then we get to the meat of the duel, right? To which is all about gambling. It's all about robots, and it's all about powering up the robots to do cool stuff that really doesn't make a difference because Time Wizard.
Yeah, which is, and then you're like, oh, you
Now-
can't get rid of these because they're made of metal, and then everything
Now-
turns to rust.
The thing that got me on this match was Time Wizard's been the go-to play. But Bandit Keith has a time machine.
Yeah, which just was like a total pull of the booty. And I was just like, oh, I guess this is happening now.
Yeah.
So,
Long and short of it, it didn't matter. Joey still won. But it was cool to see the sort of twist, the swerve that the time machine took to get Joey's play not to work.
yeah.
Right? So Joey Wheeler wins. Excuse me. Bandit Keith loses, but it doesn't matter to Bandit Keith. He can't take an L honorably, so he jumps up onto Pegasus' platform where he watches the duels, and pulls a gun, or if you're watching the English dub, just points at him one time, very weirdly.
Which is the goat of the series. It's him pointing his finger at Pegesus.
And he's like, give me the prize money. To which Pegasus is like, oh no, whatever shall I do? Which, for some reason, Pegasus has planned all of this in advance. He pulls a lever and it drops Bandit Keith off the island via a trapdoor. I mean, he's got a dungeon, so why shouldn't he have a trapdoor?
I mean, why not? And this is just the ultimate flex of Pegasus because he wasn't even worried. He didn't flinch. He's like, yo, I can see the future. I prepared for this. Like, come at me, bro.
Too, it's just almost like, did he have this installed for anybody, or was it just installed for Bandit Keith?
I feel like it was for anybody, but like he knew it was for Bandit Keith. It's like anybody can get this any day if you literally step to me. And yeah.
Yeah. So Bandit Keith is no more in this season. He's been thrown out to sea and no longer our problem. But that means the next match is Joey versus Yugi.
And if you weren't ready for some quality music, then you shouldn't watch this episode because this episode gives us the best quality music we've ever seen.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Yugi, Joey, duel.
Friendship, music.
I'm just so mad that they took 2 minutes out of an entire 20-minute episode to plug in an original English music song, rock and roll song about friendship and passion and little sisters who are going blind, all in a montage to set up the friendship duel.
It was needed, man. They did it for us.
Hey, I'm not saying that song is not a bop. It's 175% a bop. Mm-hmm. However, we had to watch 40 episodes for just this arc, 50 episodes in the entire season.
Yeah.
I didn't need this.
It was definitely like it's more so prolific the song than it is the duel. I feel like actually because the duel was pretty straightforward. Joey was swinging the air and he had some good tricks. I like the whole prep for this was probably I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed the duel because before they had all strategized and done all this stuff together, but this was like no, like we gotta be our own people. Like we're not gonna talk each other's strategies. We're not gonna tell each other what to do. And like the whole friendship circle was really challenged because they're like, who do we root for? And
yeah, man.
Tristan's like, I'm a root for Joey. And then Taya's like, I'm a thought. So you already know where this is going.
Rude.
Like,
But yes. The thing that hyped me up though was that Joey played his play, which was Time Wizard, and it turned into like 1,000-year wizard because Yugi had played dark magician and hit him with the Time Wizard. Well, wizards are ancient, so he turned into like Millennium Wizard.
Again, cop out, but
And he got a power up because forget you, Joey.
And that was sick. That's probably one of my favorite magicians next to another magician, which is in season 2. Why season 2 is the greatest. But like grandfather magician, I think he's called, or ancient magician, something.
Keep talking, I'll figure it out.
Like, but he's got a beard. Like he just looks like he's done with life, and he just ends Joey. Like
yes, just entirely murks Joey.
And like it's kind of hard because I believe that like the friend group and the power of friendship starts crying. I think And like Joey's like, it's fine, you gotta do it for your grandpa. I understand, man. Go beat Pegasus. And I'm just like, what? I'm just like, you got mad at Kaiba for doing the same thing that Yugi did. And but yeah, like double standards are meant for doubly standard.
Yeah, man. Like, I appreciate the whole friendship vibe that they were able to keep. And it was cool that he was copacetic with taking the big L for Yugi, to which it was 175% rewarded by taking the L and then, which will, hey, we'll get into that. Yugi wins, Joey loses, which he's assuming that his sister's operation is gone forever. Because how can you, as like a 17, 15-year-old person, pay for that large of a surgery? In America, it's not possible.
Yeah,
But by the power of friendship, we will see.
because no one has parents in this universe, apparently.
Except for Joey, who has divorced parents. Like,
Don't do
mean?
anything for his sister. Like, how you gonna make your son pay for it and then still be like, you still can't see your sister? I'm like, I own her at this point. I paid for her. I paid for her college. Like,
My word. So it's on to Yugi versus Pegasus to
and
pay for Joey's sister's surgery.
yeah, and this fight is, it feels a lot longer than it is. Like,
Yes, actually.
I think it's only like 1 or 2 episodes, but
I think it's 3.
okay. I'm about to say
35 to 39, that's 4.
okay. So yes, it feels as long as it is because it's and basically
5?
it's pretty long.
No, yes. As duels go, it is long, to which I don't remember most of it. That's on me. But most of the big highlights. Yugi knows the Pegasus is cheating by like seeing the cards. He can read the hand. Cool. So Pegasus can read my hand. What do we do? Well, the big solution was Yugi, you have to trust me. All right, spirit of the puzzle, I trust you. And then they have to take turns switching back and forth between Yugi and the spirit of the puzzle to be able to throw Pegasus off his mind reading trail, which Yugi the human being is weak. Like Yami the magical pharaoh is not. Sure, whatever. So eventually, through this whole switching game, Yugi runs out of energy.
Yeah. And becomes like deathly ill, and to the point where he's like shaking and he can barely like move his hands or anything, and he's like, I don't know what's going on. And then he makes one last final move, and the pharaoh is just like, I believe in Yugi and I got this, because like, yeah.
So this was a cool part.
Yeah.
So Yugi plays his last card, and then you just square out passes out on top of the dueling arena. The spirit of the puzzle takes back over and has to figure out, okay, this is a card sitting here face down that I don't know what it does, but I have to trust Yugi. But I don't know if I've got it in me. As the spirit of the puzzle, being millions of years, like hundreds of years old, I don't know if I have it in me. But he has to trust Yugi's friends. Man, the spirit of the puzzle has to trust Yugi's friends. Not only is it the power of friendship for Yugi, it's the power of the friendship for the spirit of the puzzle.
Yeah, man.
Which was kind of cool.
Yeah, and I was more like, yes, finally something interesting. And like, I just got mad love how Pegesus, not Kaiba, Pegesus switched up his whole strategy. It's like, oh, you thought I could only use tomb monsters? Nah, we use a Millennium monsters now. Like, don't ask no
Welcome,
questions.
to, welcome to the Thousand-Eyed Idol.
Yes,
Welcome to oh
relinquish.
hell, Relinquished. Thank you, and then welcome to Relinquished, the super de duper technical term there. Um, oh hell's blazes. Relinquish something. Do you recall?
I think it's relinquish too, or
No. Thousand Eyes Restrict.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, because he merges, he fuses Relinquished with the Thousand Eyed Idol. Bada boom, Thousand Eyed Restrict.
yeah, and it's like a Gorgon, I guess. It's just so basically, Yugi pulls off some major heart of the cards BS to beat this because he's basically using everything he's used up until this point to win.
Yes. So Relinquish can really a Thousand Eyes Restrict can absorb monsters. So he absorbs Dark Magician, and then Yugi's like, "Oh no, what do I do?" He uses some manner of swap to switch Thousand Eyes to switch Dark Magician with the bomb monster that Pegasus plays, and he hits him with the magical hats, and then it's time for the card that Yugi played. What's the one thing that Yugi can play? He plays the big monster of this series for Yugi, Ritual of Black Magic.
Yes, which gives us um how in the
Dark
world?
Magic Ritual, excuse me.
Yeah, Dark Magic Ritual, which gives us oh Lord, how did I forget his name? So
Magician of Black Chaos.
yeah, but just a Black Planet, my favorite monster, which like I was talking, which is sad because I was like, oh, he doesn't show up until season 2, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right, he shows up at the end of this season. So it gives us the Magician of Black Chaos, which is a straight savage, like, and he uses that to. I'm still not sure how he beats him with that, but Heart of the Cards, um, like
Look, he summons it. It's more powerful than the other thing. Yugi wins.
yes, that is what happens. Like, don't think about Yu-Gi-Oh. Don't think it makes sense because it doesn't. But just know that Magician of Dark Chaos wins because Heart of the Cards,
Yes.
and
So Yugi wins the championship. He beats Maximilian Pegasus.
he frees his grandpa. He
Yep.
frees Mokuba. He frees
Yep.
Kaiba. Gives
Yep.
Joey the prize money. Doesn't
Yes.
give to whatever's about Mai, even though Mai spent all that time helping him.
I
And
mean, I think Mai left before the end of the tournament,
no,
but I don't know.
yeah, and basically he just heads on back to live his life like nothing happened.
However,
Things did happen.
things did happen. So there's an entire side plot during the Yugi and Pegasus fight where Tristan, oh my gosh, Tristan, he actually does something. Tristan goes off into the dungeons to find Mokuba. And lo and behold, who tags along
Bakura.
Bakura. Yes. Bakura tags along to help, quote unquote, save Mokuba. And then we find out that his Millennium item is still evil.
So they get out of that, and there's a whole. I think that's when you meet Home Guy. What is his name? You know what I'm talking about?
I think I know where you're going, but no, there's a whole thing with the Millennium Ring, and they get put in a corner. Bakura puts people to sleep, quote unquote, to sleep, probably murdered. And then Tristan takes his Bakura's Millennium Ring, throws it out the turret into the forest, saving Bakura, but it didn't actually do anything because evil is persistent.
And it magically keeps coming back.
Yep. So they wind up back at the final duel and they watch the finish. And then, at the end of the duel, Bakura confronts Pegesus in his own room. And then 2 Millennium items go into a sort of a soul shadow duel.
Yeah.
It's just laser beams between one thing to another, but it's really interesting. So,
Okay.
Pegesus
Dope
isn't
sauce.
always the bad guy. He's a bad guy, but he's not just the bad guy, right? He was doing all of this to find more Millennium items to be able to resurrect his dead wife, girlfriend. To be able to bring her back to life and, continue living a peaceful, loveful life. But nothing worked, and he was led astray. And then Bakura wins the shadow game, to which I don't know what that means, right? I don't think we ever see Pegesus again. Do you know later in the show, do we see Pegesus?
So we do see Kaiba again. Or sorry, wow, man, you really got me messed up with this. We do see
Pegesus again.
We do see Pegesus again, yes. He's very prominent in, I want to say, season 3 and season 4. Like, we see him actually all the way up until the end, because he is the creator of Duel Monsters, and that has, like, you see him a lot in season 2, the first part, actually, because he gets visited by, like, a ghost type person who isn't really a ghost, but, like, things happen. So you see that. He gets visited by a Millennium item user, and they're like, hey, you created this game, you have a purpose in life, like, let me show you what it is. So that's pretty cool.
Are
And
you talking about the guy with the key?
yes, and I'm talking about the girl with the necklace.
Oh, I don't know about the necklace so far. But you know what? Yeah, so Pegesus is mildly important through the rest of the series because the game is the show is entirely based on the game he plays.
Yeah.
But for this point, Yugi wins, Pegesus loses, Grandpa Soul is saved, Mokuba and Kaiba are saved, Joey's sister is saved. It's a happy ending, except for the fact that there's more BS to go. Like Bakura being a bad guy and trying to collect more Millennium items. To which we've got to close the episode, right? That's the end of the Duelist Kingdom arc. But there's another 10 episodes of fluff, important stuff, and Dungeon Dice Monsters. That's probably why we started this show in the first place. We wanted to get all the way to Dungeon Dice Monsters, and then we'll just never do a show again about anything other than the most important game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Dungeon Dice Monsters.
Stay tuned for that.
Yes. But in the interim, don't forget to check out the show on Spotify as an audio-only podcast, the video upload on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter at YTSP. That's URTSP, as we live tweet our research, share memes, and interact with the community of wonderful weeaboos. Next episode, the final part of Yu-Gi-Oh! Until we move on to another show. We'll get into Virtual World, the greatest hits of season 1, and the Dungeon Dice Monsters.
Yes, so stay tuned and get your game on for next episode.
All here on your typical shonen protagonist.